To the chopper.
To the chopper. Get to the chopper. Well, hello, YouTube. We are kind of live. And as you can see, it is the special NRA Dumpster Fire Edition. We are kind of live. Which rookies got their sound on. Oh, Seven Wonders is here. There's some chick is here that's giving me a thumbs down already. Gunpowder's here. We've got a panel. We'll start at my right with Mr. Gunstop. What's going on out there in Oklahoma? You're floating away yet?
No, we dried out today, but we're gonna float away again tomorrow. And I just so everyone knows, be careful. Don't do Jessie wrong, because she will do things you don't want to know about. I heard her say it, so I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. Oh, look at that. We got the big time has popped in here, and he came into the right of Snob, so now I've got to go to Mr. Big Time himself, Travis P11. How you doing, sir?
Hey, what's going on, dude? I apologize, man. I was taking the dog out for a walk. I just took him out after Caliber Corner, so I got your message. I was like, I got to get back. But, hey, I'm doing good, man. How you guys doing?
I'm not doing too bad. We got NRAAM to cover. We've got Every2ndMatters to cover, and a little bit of the dumpster fire that's going on at the NRA. So
sounds good. Oh, see, I thought maybe Midnight Range was now sponsored by the NRA. That's why you guys had that picture.
Oh no, that would be
the dumpster. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Hey guys, check out my channel, Travis P11 over there on Gun Channels, and also on let's see, we got GunTube.org. So there we go.
Gun streamer and what is it? VidMe?
No, I took down VidMe. That it couldn't handle me. I couldn't handle me. It couldn't handle me. But no, man. But check out podcast Caliber Corner. We do that on Thursdays, 5 to 7 Central Time, 6 to 8 East Coast Time. And I do realize I forgot to invite you again, by the way.
That's all right.
I was staring at all 23 of my invites, and I'm like, who am I not getting on here? You need to send me a message, like, dude, link me. And I'll be like, okay. So you gotta. Then I'll get you on the list, and then you'll be permanent on there. So
you're usually like this week. The wife is traveling, so she's supposed to be getting home sometime. Last I checked, she was in Charlotte, North
cool,
Carolina, so she's probably about an hour away still.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah. I'm usually with the wife until about 10 o'clock, except on Thursday nights, because I got either my show or Sarge's show. So
yeah, I hear you, man. Cool. I appreciate the invite, man. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for coming in.
Right on.
Hard way up there in Michigan, up there in the mitten. How you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good. I have a feeling I'm probably roboting because everybody else is roboting to me. So, but it's been pretty good. I got sick pretty much immediately coming back from NRAAM. So apparently, whatever the SHOT Show bug is, I'm going to blame Ghost and Clover for bringing that with them.
Big old baby.
And I see we've also been joined by Gunpowder Beauty.
You weren't really roboting, but there was some really annoying sound there at the end. I'm not sure what it was, but it kind of just covered you up there at the end. Really annoying, though.
Yeah, it tends to happen sometimes.
All right, thanks for joining us, sir. In ma'am. Roll call. You're next. What's up? What you got going on?
Not a whole lot. Hanging out with my chickens. We're doing cool things together.
Yeah.
Yeah. There they are. Tons of them. Oh, listen to them.
Larry! Larry!
I love you, chickens. I love you, chickens.
You gotta pull one out for our homie Larry.
I got a new Larry. I got a new Larry. Yeah, look at this guy.
Rip new Larry.
Hold on, I need to get
He's
fancy
already
feet.
replaced Larry.
Yeah,
hey, Cindy, is this Larry big enough that the water dish you won't put it on top of him?
Right?
Fuck off.
Hey, watch your mouth. Jesus.
Ain't gotta watch your mouth on this chat. We know we're not kid friendly. Kidding me? So rip new Larry. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's probably gonna happen.
Cindy will kill him.
Rich, how you doing out there in West Virginia? You didn't even come. I came right by your house, and you didn't even come out and see me.
I told you were over on the other side of the state.
You weren't even near me.
Came right by his house. You believe it? You believe that? The guy wouldn't even come out and see me. Sitting out there honking the horn.
Yeah, you wish. You don't even know where my house is, man. How could you?
In West Virginia, it's not that big.
Everybody knows everybody there. It's kind of like Cheers, the bar.
No, not quite.
Hey, you guys know Rich White? And they're like, we don't have any Rich Whites here in Virginia.
You didn't tell that to the governor. That guy.
So how's things going out there? Besides the fact that you wouldn't come out and see me.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to shit around here. It stopped raining for one day at least. I know that much.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I think it must have rained here the whole time I was gone for NRAAM, but it's been sunny and warm since I got back.
Yeah, it's the first day in a week that it hasn't rained here.
Yeah.
Like they said before we went live, keep telling people it's turning into a rainy season, and they don't believe me. It's the same shit it did last year.
Well, yeah, if it turns out like last year, that's not going to be good. All the trees that didn't come down last year and didn't come down with the big ice storm we got are going to come down if we get as much rain as we did last year.
It's supposed to rain all the way through next week. So.
Oh, look who gets a repost by Savoy Leather. Probably because he got the whole gun in there.
Who's that? Would that be me?
That would be you.
Yeah, but you got a follow in High Point Firearms. So.
Is it the new one?
Yeah.
I looked.
Yeah, the Every Second Matters.
Must have just came. The Every Second Matters one. That's cool. They must have just done that.
Yeah, it said like 6 minutes ago or something.
Yeah. You got the whole gun and the holster, and they're next to each other, not, gun in the holster, and an Every Second Matters patch. All of them in frame. Not saying, I'm just saying.
Do I need to turn on my camera so you can see what I'm doing right now?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can guess what you're doing.
I figured you were.
But I probably, if you turn on your camera, you'd only see half of it.
Now I'm doing it twice as much.
Kingpin, Maryland, how's it going?
Oh man, not too bad. Thanks for having me. Always fun.
Yeah, you went to the rally today, or was it yesterday?
May 6th.
May 6th.
Yeah, it was Monday.
What was the Poor Man's Gun Channels picture I saw then? Wasn't that yours?
Oh yeah, no, that was I was at work today, and I was playing the Daily Gun Show from last night, and people kept coming up to me asking me what I was listening to, and then I ended up with a few people standing around listening, and I got a chance to tell them about gun channels and Every Second Matters, and I just happened to have a gun channels patch and an Every Second Matters patch in my car, so I took a picture with my boss and his son. So that's my boss's hand's got the American flag. His son's got the gun channels patch, and I've got the Every Second Matters patch with my thumb all over it. And terrible. I got my picture taking skills from Snob apparently.
Yeah, you got everything in frame, so you're already miles ahead of Snob's Instagram game.
You got to invest in a pair of those mini hands, and then you're ready to rock.
Oh yeah, then you got no
David.
problem.
This is the extent of his skill. He talks to his phone, or he talks to his camera, and it does all the work for him.
Yeah. GoPro, take a photo. Click.
Glad it's not on. When I was looking through the GoPro photos, whenever Marco yelled that after we were done, I was like, what's this photo? It's like of somebody's shoulder. Then I remembered what it was. I was like, oh, yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't up your nose.
The one thing we missed out on in NRAAM is every time we passed by Gun Snob, we should have hollered out, GoPro, take a photo, just to see what happens.
Yeah.
I would have been so ticked because I had all sorts of crappy photos. Oh, they'd have probably been better. With that wide angle lens, I would have got the whole gun in frame.
You probably would have got the whole gun in the frame. So, Gizzard, how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. Thanks for the invite.
Coming in hot.
Yeah.
That was so creepy.
Don't ever do that again.
That's not better. Thanks for coming in, Gizzard.
Thanks.
even if you are a little creepy sometimes.
Yeah, with that facial expression, he's to see if he can put a light bulb in his mouth and we'll make it light up.
I was wondering where the nearest light bulb is. I can see it going. Forklift guy, how are you doing?
Just smashed my finger working on a machine, so that means I'm doing my job right, I guess. I'll be here for about another 90 minutes. I'll try to stay muted up so you guys don't have to hear all that background noise. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, you're quite welcome, sir. We'll cover who we got in the chat here. There's some Snob's wife 76. Anybody know who that is? She seems a little off. Should I just?
I think that's Snob's ex-wife, isn't it?
She's a lot off.
Should I just mute her? I mean, she seems.
Yeah, just go ahead and time her out now and get it over with.
All right. Seven Wonders, Gunpowder Beauty out in the chat. In here we got Gun Love and Grandpa Stanley Kingpin. They're in here. Weston Probst, Rich White. They're in here. And we got all kinds of hearts going on out in the chat. Good Lord. Gizzard Gary, they're in here. We got Gunsnob, who is looking a little under the weather. Lead Life.
Okay.
Guitar Man Pete is out there. Battery's out there, otherwise known as AA or A&A. I don't think his brother channel partner is here. Ooh, that Snob's Wife 76 seems like an angry person. Rupan is out there and in here. So covers who's out there. Or Rupan's not in here. He's out there. But let's talk about the NRA. What does anybody have to think about that? They voted unanimously to keep Wayne. Anybody got any thoughts on that? I think.
You see, they would have actually had to take a vote had roll call had his name in there to become executive vice president.
So you're saying they said party on, Wayne?
Yeah. Is anybody really surprised by that?
No, he wins every year. Did they really take a vote, or did he win because nobody opposed him?
He won because nobody opposed him, which
so
is
he won
why
by default, as usual.
You know, this is roll call's fault. Everyone in this chat should be mad at roll call, not the NRA.
That could have been the vote heard around the world roll call.
You could have stopped it.
I missed out on that, didn't I? Well, if I knew where the hell the place was.
Look, our chickens were mittens.
I guess next year I'll have to run.
Could have been roll call's picture all over that elevated crosswalk in front of the convention center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could have had a 50-foot roll call.
I've got a question that y'all may be able to answer on that, though. So with it being a unanimous vote, does that mean that even if there's nobody to oppose him, that means they are forced to vote for him, or does that mean they can still vote no confidence?
They did not even have a vote.
Oh, okay.
I think
everybody phrased it as if they had a vote.
Well, they did that on purpose because they wanted to look strong. The Wayne people.
Gotcha. Because everything I've seen just said they all voted confidence in him, basically.
Yeah.
This is the Saddam Hussein Hugo Chavez vote.
Yeah.
There was no media there. If they did have 20 or 30% dissent, they'd never report it anyway. Let's be real. They'll spin it however they want to.
What do you guys think about the new requirements to run for their executive board anyway? You got to be a lifetime member for over 5 years.
Oh,
That's horseshit.
New requirements? I didn't see that.
Yeah. Their new requirement is you have, before you can run for the board of directors, you have to be a lifetime member for at least 5 years.
Well, damn it, we changed something. Our little group changed something because they heard roll call was going to run. He was going to go buy a life membership and run. So they heard it and they had to change it. So if we did nothing else, we changed that rule.
I can run next year.
So
That's why they gave me. That's why they gave me press credentials, because I threatened them.
Yeah.
Or it was because we told you to go your butt in there and get them.
Let's see. Well, yeah, Illinois just passed their 5 years of concealed carry. I would have had to renew if we were still there. So I've had mine for.
I could run. I could run next year and be the new Adam Kraut, get on the ballot and never get elected.
There you go. You just got.
We could also convince Clover to run.
Is he a life member or is he a yearly member?
I'm not sure. I believe he's life, but I'm not sure. He's got it for his certifications and stuff, though.
Better get some sort of step stool at that podium so you can see over it, though.
Yeah. If I read it right, it specifically states you have to be a lifetime member now. Yearly members cannot run.
Whatever happened with Adam Kraut anyway? In the end,
Nothing.
Was he on the ballot? Did he get voted for? What happened?
He lost.
And he didn't run for and he didn't even try for the 76th seat this time, I don't guess.
From what little bit that I know about the parliamentary procedure for other things, the NRA might be different, but if there's nobody contesting, then you just have your nomination. I nominate Wayne LaPierre. And if there's no objections, then it would just go through as, I guess the chairperson or whatever would cast a vote, and that would be the unanimous vote. So they don't have to have everybody raise their hand and everybody raise their hand for or against or anything like that. That's just my simple understanding. It may not be correct, but the question that I have is, what was the purpose of the day before? What wasn't it the board that voted or wrote a letter or whatever to Wayne LaPierre asking him to step down?
That was the president.
It was the board with Oliver North, but then when he stepped down and they started doing all the parliamentarian shit, you knew what the outcome was going to be because they were never going to let the membership vote, which is what the motions and everything were. And everybody that stood up there bitching against it were all either current or former board members.
Well, that's my point. Monday when they had their board meeting, why didn't somebody say, yesterday we voted to get you out of here, so we're gonna nominate John Smith? Or why didn't they do something if they went ahead and asked him to quit? Why didn't they take further steps? Was it just a show or what?
Ollie North made a grave mistake. Whenever you attack the king, you must kill the king. And he didn't have the power to kill the king, so therefore he got killed.
Yep, exactly. When Ollie North had an empty chair and a name tag in front of where he was supposed to be on Saturday, that was nothing but a pure show of power from LaPierre.
Did you see the new news about LaPierre that was just on Instagram?
No.
That he charged Ackerman McQueen $250,000 for all the trips he took to the Bahamas and everywhere else. So that's where your dues went. If you're
we gotta protect gun rights in the Bahamas too. Come on.
Yeah,
well, that's
he went there. He went to Europe. He went somewhere else, and then he charged the Ackerman McQueen people $250,000 for his trips. There's where your dues went. That's why I say, who cares?
And with all this being said, this is my highest disappointment. I kind of agree with David to a point on this, is why, after all this mess, if anybody opposed him or if anybody, believed he was screwing up within the board, why none of them nominated each other or anything, just everybody nominate each other until we find one that everybody's willing to vote for, do something like that just to show that, hey, screw you to Wayne LaPierre.
Because Saturday when they booted Ollie North, they showed who had the real power. So, there was nobody. Well, nobody else could step up to kill the king because the one that had a chance at killing the king didn't have enough power to do it.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, is none of them have the balls. They're all afraid.
So the New Yorker article about the Ackerman McQueen thing is completely true. Like, there's no more speculation that it might be lies and a setup and all that. Like, everybody's pretty confident that the financial corruption is actually a true story.
Well, I have no doubt. I don't have any proof other than that New Yorker article. But there's always they're another lobbying group. They've gotten too big and too powerful, and they've gotten lost sight of where they should be.
Well, I'm sure the feds are going to do a nice, healthy audit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I asked the question to ask this one because Squib brought it up, and maybe he could talk about it. But he mentioned the other day that he got an email from I guess Wayne LaPierre or the NRA or however that works, asking for $500. And to me, that would seem like a real slap in the face if I was an NRA. Full disclosure, I'm not an NRA member, never have been and never will be. But it would seem like if I was that would be a slap in the face that yesterday it was exposed that you've been corrupt as could be with your finances, and now today you're asking me for $500.
Yeah, I got an email yesterday asking for money. I replied to them, I'm not giving you anything. I'm opposed to Wayne LaPierre being in his position. And I'm like, in fact, I'm firmly in the camp of getting rid of LaPierre and Chris Cox. And I was like, don't you dare ask me for another penny until those two are gone. That was.
Yeah, the thing about it was that normally I get those emails and it says, this is the biggest fight of our life. This year's the most important. The laws that they're proposing are the strongest yet, blah, blah, blah. We need your money. They don't mention any of the other times they needed our money or any of the other fights that were the most important. It's always the most important fight. And this time they didn't say that. They were just straight up, we're going to fall apart if you don't send us $500.
Yeah.
I mean, and there was more to it than that. It was signed by Wayne LaPierre, but of course he signed all of them, right? He don't. There are people that actually think he's in a room somewhere typing these and licking stamps, and it's like it doesn't work like that. But okay, Ackerman McQueen drafted this, and they put their image of his signature on it.
Wayne LaPierre isn't typing those up and hand signing each one of them before he sends them out.
Yeah, see, he's never been doing that. But the thing about it is normally it's the whole, you need to send us money so we can fight for you. And this time it was, you need to send us money so we can survive. And I'm like, wow. And in 20 years of being in this shit, I've never heard him say anything like that before. This is kind of bold.
The one I got was literally, you need to send us money so that I can keep my job.
Yeah, and honestly, if the NRA wanted to do something to stay in touch with all of the little members like us, not the big donors, not the sponsors, none of the corporate people, none of that stuff, just with the average. If they forced Wayne LaPierre and Chris Cox to resign, they would get donations from people like us, I think. But for the greater good of the organization, neither one of those guys are going to step down. And there's been other times where people in power, where they've been politicians or business people, have, in order to save face, in order to save the company or to make the country look better, or the state or the county or whatever it is, they've stepped down in disgrace. But these guys are not willing to step down in disgrace. So if the NRA does fall apart, I'm going to put it solely on LaPierre and Cox. And I think that there's enough rich fuds out there that got that email too, or got the junk mail version of it, that are pulling out the checkbooks, writing checks that, we couldn't, none of us in this room could write. And that's how they've survived up to now with all their threatening letters and emails. So when that generation dies off, that's probably, in my opinion, if the NRA survives, that's going to be the best time for us to affect change. I know we all want change now. Even though I support the NRA more than most people do, there are changes that I want to see in it, just not as radical as what other people want. But I just don't think it's going to happen until all the rich fuds die.
No, I think it's going to be not even just a generational thing. It's going to take time for the movement to build. I mean, the Guitar Man said it out there, and Yankee's been saying this himself, is that he's been saying this for years, and maybe he has. I don't know. I've been watching him that long, but I know Tim at Military Arms Channel is saying it. Yankee's saying it. You got, a bunch of the small channels are saying it, and it's just something. It's going to take time because we had our best shot. With this last one, with that New Yorker article coming out, and supposedly the board sending him a notice that they want him to step down, and Ollie North saying he wanted him to step down, and then Monday came and Wayne is still there. So
they listen to money.
Yeah.
None of us here have money. There are lots of lifetime members that were members before we were born that are still sending them money. That's why I say we got to wait for that generation to die off. Because then they're like, oh man, where are we going to get our money from? Oh, these guys have been complaining about us for decades. You know, and at that point, they're either going to have to change or they will fall. You know, by then, Lapierre, of course, is going to be gone, but there'll be another guy that takes over his place. And no matter who goes in there to take over his spot, they're going to want the money and the perks and stuff like that. And even if they go in there with good intentions, eventually they'll become corrupt. That's why one of the changes I'd like to see is term limits for all those positions, the board of directors, everything. If you maybe you give them something where you can get voted back in, but only after so many other people have served. So you could go back or something like that, but don't give them anything where they're allowed consecutive terms. I think that would be helpful, but these guys aren't about to give that up. That'd be like telling, you know, people in Congress they'd have to give. They're not going to do that.
So-
I'm a big proponent of term limits, no matter where it's at, because if you've spent 30 years doing something, I mean, there's, especially in Congress or you know.
But right now their term is annual, and they always automatically get reelected. So what we need is something that says you can be a board of directors member, or the executive president, or whatever for say like 2 years. But then after that, somebody new has it. You cannot get reelected, and if you want to come back, you got to wait 5 years or 6 years or 10 years or something like that. You know, but if they're consecutive at all, they'll just stay in there. Instead of us getting a ballot every year in the mail, we'll get a ballot every 2 years in the mail. But it'd be the same cast of characters that are all. You know, it's like you have 56 choices and there's 56 people on the ballot. Gee, I don't know.
So where does the NRA get its money from? Do they make the majority of their money from the average everyday, person, John Q. Public that sends in their donation or signs up for a membership? Or do they get their money from, quote unquote, big donors kind of stuff?
Probably gun companies.
Gun companies, they get it from the industry
Advertisers.
and the big donors, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
we kind of covered this one of the nights this week. That I mean, the NRA was really touting when they hit that 5 million member mark, and then they kind of stopped talking about it. So they obviously didn't get much more than that. But that's what, $25-$30 a year to join the NRA if you pay yearly, something like that. But if you're looking at the 5 million members, maybe 20% of them are life members, maybe more. But if you talk 20%, that means you got 4 million that are paying dues yearly, or in some kind of increment of maybe they're paying a couple of years at a time or whatever. But that's, let's say it's $30 a year, and you got 4 million people. That's $120 million. That probably covers stuff that the NRA, the old school NRA does, the grants to ranges, the education, the classes, the stuff like that. That probably covers that. Everything else is coming from big money donors or the industry, and that's all going into the ILA and people's salaries and stuff like that. So, and God knows how much that is. I mean, I haven't gone and looked up their financials, but if I can even find them, find out what they got coming in. But it's not coming from the everyday Joe who's paying his yearly dues. It's coming from the industry and from big money donors. And I don't even think the big money donors are getting them that much, unless it'd have to be so big. They're getting it from the industry.
Well, there's got to be a place somewhere where we can look up each board member's email address. And if every NRA member we know typed an email, just basically saying, you have to get rid of LaPierre, you have to get rid of LaPierre. And even if it was just a blanket email thing, but you send it to all 76 people every month, just hit send on it and send it again and again and again, the same email. It might do some good by the end of the year, because they get no letters a year, period.
They'll
So
hit
they don't,
trash file, trash file, trash file, trash file.
And it may be.
They wouldn't even care.
They might
Well,
use
yeah,
that
but what are you doing, Rich, that's going to cause them to care? Nothing. You might as try something. That's what I'm saying.
The only way you're going to cripple this organization until they start opening their ears is everybody stops. Everybody stops giving them money.
You've got to
Hey,
realize, though,
bro,
that is not going to hurt them at all, because it's the people that give them the most money are the people that don't pay attention to stuff like that.
That's I just covered that real call. It's not their everyday dues isn't paying for the big salaries and all the perks and the benefits and paying Ackerman and McQueen. It's coming from the big donors and from the.
I personally know people who have said they have written checks to the NRA in the thousands, not batted an eye, and they did it because of the junk mail they got.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I get the old FUD thing, because they were all old FUDs, and it's like, wow, dang.
If there's people that have written checks for the NRA in the millions. You ever watch when they're meeting things and they're giving people those gold jackets? That's for somebody who contributed $1 million or more at one time.
Well, you've got to realize tickets to their dinners, whenever they have that dinner, like at the NRA annual meeting, $10,000,
And they also have provisions for you to leave your estate to the NRA, your entire estate. So if you're rich and you have no kids to leave it to, you could leave it to the NRA. Or if your kids are just assholes and you don't want to leave them anything, you could leave it to the NRA. How many times do you think that's happened over the decades?
Dude, that's perfect for a person like me.
Well, okay.
Travis, you can leave your estate to me.
I'm kidding, of course.
I'm not the NRA, but I'll take
I'm leaving
it.
all my stuff to David. So
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
David.
it.
Yes, yes.
So, okay, if cutting the money off, if John Q. Public cuts the money off isn't going to do anything to the NRA, what about withdrawing memberships? You know,
I
if
don't think we
everybody
care about it. I think the only way you're going to get change is physically contacting board members.
And see, I think you're going to have a multifaceted approach. It's contacting board members is going to be part of it, but the other part of it is, supporting people that are speaking out against it and supporting other organizations. I mean, I'm personally a member of the GOA and the Second Amendment Foundation, and I recently joined the FPC. I know Budget Guns and Gear, he's got a whole list of them. He's got like 5 or 6 that he belongs to, and support the channels that are talking about it, and not just me, and supporting my fight against e-begging, which is Patreon.com/obnoxious1 to support my fight against e-begging. But support Yankee maybe a little bit, support Tim a little bit, support the people that are talking out against it, because.
But if you're complaining about how the NRA spends its money and these crazy salaries these people get and all this other stuff, how can you say send money to somebody else? If that other person if you want the people in the NRA to be more humble and earn a more reasonable living and do more work for what they earn, and quit sending us all this junk mail saying this is the fight of our lives or save us or whatever, well, just sending your money to somebody else is doing the same thing. Well, so if somebody is really holier than thou, they'll do it for free.
Other people may have a different view of this, but I don't care what CEOs make and, vice president of production, and I don't care what the executives make, because I know what those guys have got to go through, and sometimes they are literally the smartest person in the room. They don't just think they're the smartest person in the room. A lot of times they are the smartest person in the room. And I have no problem paying a big salary to somebody, but I do have a problem is paying a big salary to somebody who doesn't do what I'm paying them that salary to do. So I would have no problem paying big salaries to GOA, because GOA is out there fighting. I have no problem paying big salaries to Second Amendment Foundation, because they're out there fighting. Firearms Policy Coalition, they're out there fighting. Some of the state organizations are out there fighting. I will say that the Illinois State Rifle Association is exactly the same as the NRA, because I saw that. But some of the other some of the other branches for the states are different.
Hey guys, check out my link on the internal chat and tell me if that'll be useful.
Oh yeah.
Gun Collective has a single template that you can fill out, and you click on the people that you want to send the emails to, and apparently it's going to go directly to them. So
Sweet. That's very simple.
That's always useful. Stuff like
Okay, I
that.
take back every cruel thing I've said about the gun collective at times.
And there's one that
Maybe
says
pisses
every
me off.
NRA board member, so you don't have to check all them damn boxes.
Mhm.
Then you just type "you suck" in there and click submit. You're done.
You're taking all the fun out of it, Gary. You had to point that out to people.
That's scary. He's always being
The detail oriented man. Yeah.
Well, imagine if at the meeting of the members there'd have been 200 or 300 people in there instead of 20 against what the ones that were, on our side versus the 700, 800 that were on their side. And I'm just as guilty as anybody. I was out there walking the floor looking at shiny stuff when that was going on when I should have been in there.
Yeah.
There weren't that many people in there on either side. That's the problem.
There was about 1,000 people in there and about 20 on our side.
There was a decent amount of people in there. I went up there for about half an hour, and they were just, stroking. They were just patting themselves on the back, and
it was a joke.
The second link I posted here, guys, if you put the at NRAHQ.org after the name of all these people, apparently you can do that also. It says first letter of the first name followed by the last name at on NRAHQ.org. Now, this list is from 2017, but this is the NRA Board of Directors as of October 5th, 2017. But this shows you who's on there. I'm surprised. I recognize one of the names of the guy that's on there. It's Steve Hornady's on there. Hornady's on there from Hornady Ammunition.
There's a lot of excellent board members out there.
Mercedes Slap, I recognize that one. She's working in the White House now. Yeah, well, that's
But this will give you the names if you guys want to get the emails going. Fire it up.
Thanks for sharing that link.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
That first one is excellent. I always like seeing those links because I'm generally lazy. So
yeah, that template should work good.
When somebody puts it together and all I gotta do is click a couple buttons and write "screw you" on it and send it off, I'm good with that.
Can we have somebody draft up the cut and paste we could put in there to send it off to everybody? Or do you want these all to be individual messages?
Well, I think they should all be individual messages, but it doesn't take very long to say, hey, we love the NRA. We want to see it changed. And, we want to see it changed and want to see it be the NRA we want it to be. And we cannot have that with Wayne LaPierre in power. And Ackerman McQueen. And add Ackerman. Don't forget to bitch about Ackerman and Queen in there, too.
Get rid of Chris Cox while you're at it, too. No use leaving his ass around there.
Yeah. Forgot about there's 3, sorry. Bitch about those 3. ACMAC, Wayne LaPierre, and Cox.
And those links are always good. I think TOA has one that'll pull. I know ILA does, that you put in your address and it'll pull up, your senator and your congressman.
Yeah, but one of them don't work right. One of them I went to one time and the senator it listed wasn't anywhere near my senator. So.
That was pretty well said there, kids. Senators definitely don't work right.
It's not work at all, let's be real.
This is
kind of like what you do, huh?
I think senators and Congress people may be the only ones that get more time off than Gitzer.
Jealousy, boys.
But yeah, I urge everybody that's up there listening and watching this.
What? Why?
Go
Sean?
No, but we got 3 people.
Occasionally his daughter's chiming in from across the room.
I think today they were talking about food.
Yeah, I can never tell what she's saying, but I know that she chimes in from across the room.
We need to get her on Gun Channels and get her an account so she can join in on the fun here,
She can just have riches.
Yeah, well, no, let her get her own. No.
But yeah, I urge everybody to go over to the Gun Collective, right? Just some, a couple sentences. It doesn't have to be anything. Just
if they got a way to send Adam Crowd an email too.
He's not on the board, so it's probably not gonna. Probably won't go to him.
If you contact the TGC page, that guy will respond back to you.
Will he?
Oh yeah, John.
Adam will.
If you just say
John Patton will.
Just say I got a question for Adam, or I want to talk to Adam about something. I want to get a response from him. They'll do it. He actually interacts well with people, and people actually try to get a hold of him because I've talked to him a couple times.
That's cool. He'd be able to give you a little more insight on it since he's been running for the board. You want to talk to him, but
He's running for the board because he wants to try to change it. At first, I didn't think so. At first, I just thought he was running for the board for a cush job to make money. But I kind of slowed my roll a little bit there and started listening to what the guy had to say. And I do believe that he actually intends to change it. That's why he's gone up there 2 or 3 times and 2 or 3 times got shot down. Because they don't want somebody making waves. They want to keep their club the way their club is.
Well, and then Adam's a lawyer anyway. It's not like he needs the money.
No, he's not needing the money. He's a lawyer.
He can't.
But before you think he's like this hotshot defense, I think he's like a patent lawyer. But still,
He's a firearms lawyer.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he started out like doing patents and crap like that. I'm not saying he doesn't understand. He understands the law. You give him something with all that phony Latin language on there, he'll understand it. But so I think he's qualified. He definitely cares because when he got shot down that first time, he was like, I don't know. And a bunch of people said, no, we want you to try to run again. So he tried running again. I mean, I say give him a chance. He can't be any worse than what we got.
All right, well, I'm about to get the wound up some bitch of the week. I'm so sick of this stupid Yankee shit about the board can't do anything. The board has the power to do anything they want if they have a majority.
Hold on. I got to figure out how to record just this section.
Yeah. No, freaking Yankee has everybody believing that the board has no power. The board still has the power. It's plain and simple. There's plenty of board members that will tell you they have the power. They don't have the people on the board to go along with them. They need more good board members.
Well, then somebody who's got it, because if they're all signing NDAs and they're all signing all the other crap that Yankees talking about, somebody needs to just suck it up. Somebody's got more money than any of us, and if they're on the board, they probably do, and air the dirty laundry. And I thought Ollie was going to do that, but here we are, and it's so LaPierre's got more power than at least Oliver North did, and he was president of the NRA.
Well, you got to see, they have little subsections that are, committees on the board that have all the power over everything. But as a whole, the board can remove him still to this day. If they decide to vote to remove him, they can vote to remove him immediately. But they have to have the votes, and they don't have the votes on the board. That's why Oliver North fell short. He didn't have the votes to get it done. So until we get better board members or convince board members that there's an issue with him and ACMAC and Cox, then they're not going to worry about it.
Well, and I'd say don't just stop, at sending letters to the board. Send it to firearm company. Send it to Smith & Wesson and say.
Send it to Midway USA.
That's why I didn't let my membership lapse. That's why when I get my ballot, there's a spot on the back you can pencil people in. I mean, you don't. When I was joking around when I said there was 56 spots and only 56 names on there. I think there's like 56 spots or 57 spots and there's like 60 names on there. But still, there is a way to start voting people in. Flip the ballot over, pencil in a name. Put in G-Webs if you want. I don't care. Just put in somebody other than the same old that either won't do anything or are afraid to do anything.
You can't pencil in the names like that anymore. That's why they put these new guidelines in for the voting members. Anybody who's running, even if it's a pencil-in vote, has to be a life member for over 5 years.
What about Tim, Military Arms Channel? Was he going to run?
He's not a member anymore. He gave up his membership.
Oh, I thought he had. Oh, okay, because he was a lifetime.
Yeah, he gave up his membership when Pete Brownell got in there and wasn't able to do anything to change anything. Then Tim got.
Yeah, he got frustrated and left. He said, "I'm not going to keep doing this."
Which is dumb. Why give up your membership? You can't change anything if you're not a member.
Right. That's what I was saying in the past. But a bunch of people just got mad and cut up their cards on YouTube, and it's like you didn't help yourself. I understand that you're mad at them, but when you react with feelings, you're no better than the people that are trying to take away our rights.
No, that's like Springfield Armory, and you know, I've still got 5 Springfield Armory guns. I won't buy another one, but I wasn't. I wasn't going to set fire to the ones I already have. I already paid for them.
It doesn't affect them in any way if you set fire to them.
Nope. But it's Midway USA, or they're the one that have like the Roundup or the.
Oh yeah. Well, Cabela's does too, but yeah, Midway USA does.
Midway does, and there's a couple others that do, but Midway's got the big one. Yeah.
But you know, I watched Larry Potterfield get up there at that member meeting. Whenever I was in the press room for just a minute, I stood there at the door and watched him for just a minute talk about it. And it's like he's just sold on LaPierre. So that's a company you start calling and saying, "Hey, we're not doing any business with you," which I really don't ever buy anything from them. I buy it from Brownells anyways. But you tell them, "Hey, we're not doing business with you anymore until you stand up and, you know, go against the grain on this." You know, maybe, yeah, I probably won't do anything unless enough people do it.
But yeah, if you get a bunch of people start telling Midway that they're not buying anything from them, or you get Cabela's or whatever, anybody that's, you know, got their little thing to donate to them.
Well, and I don't think the donating thing, I don't think that's bad. The problem is whenever you have like Larry Potterfield up there just convinced that he's God, you know, LaPierre's God, and he's the best thing since sliced bread. That's the problem.
No, I don't think that the donating to them is a bad thing, but what we're donating to right now isn't supporting gun owners. So
no, but it's supporting nice vacations to the Bahamas. I don't know why you're upset about that. I would like to take a nice vacation to the Bahamas. If y'all donate, I'm going to go start a GoFundMe.
All you got to do is get on the board of directors and you get all those junkets, duh, and a really nice koozie or something. Maybe a little Glock keychain.
Hey, screw y'all. I got a High Point koozie. Just throwing that out there. And High Point followed me on Instagram. So just saying, I'm kind of big time now.
Yeah, but you got to remember the Indiegogo line is pretty long now. I mean, you might have to get in the back of the queue.
Is there a line for Indiegogo? Because I was thinking about getting on there, but I didn't. If there's a line, screw it.
Currently, I think you're third in place, though.
Is it kind of like a bread line, or I'm just asking for a friend?
Tell Night Strike to look for himself.
That was pretty good, Rich.
All right. So what do we get? We got a nice little link out there, and I'll put it out here again for contacting the NRA.
Well, that may be the best thing I've seen all day.
Yep.
As far as getting a hold of them, that's the simplest. Even if you're lazy like me, you can still manage to do it. Mm-hmm. And you know, and it may not be the greatest way to do it. It may not be nearly as personal, but hey, it's something.
See, it's so simple. Even an Oklahoman can do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm pushing that, but
I'll walk you through it, Snug.
Yeah, Jason said, "My bad. I just ordered from Midway."
Well, and that's the thing. Like I said, you got to have a multifaceted approach on this. You got to, you know, approach. You got the link there to write the board members. You can contact Midway and let them know that you don't approve of, you know, their roundup or donate or whatever it is, because you don't approve of the direction that the NRA has taken. You can contact firearm manufacturers and let them know that you don't approve of the NRA.
I didn't know what the hell you said. How was I supposed to know who you were talking? Sorry, my wife is being so.
And you got, you know, supporting the people that are speaking out against what the NRA is becoming, what they're doing. So you've got a lot of approaches that you can take, and it's not going to change overnight, but you know, maybe sometime in our lifetimes.
Well, it didn't get the way it is overnight either, you know.
No.
I got a question about that. I'm sorry, did I cut you off, Gary? Go ahead.
No.
Well, I got a question about that, getting to where it's gotten to. How did it get to be so big by itself? How come, you know, was it a bunch of people that just saying, oh, they're going to do it, so let's just let them do it? Like, how did the NRA end up being the only place that you can get the certifications from, the only organization with, 5 million members or whatever it is? You know, how come nobody else popped up along the way? Was it just the fact that, well, oh, we've got the NRA? so we don't need to do it.
They paid everybody off.
The NRA's been around for almost 150 years.
And say a lot of those other organizations haven't been around all that long.
Yeah, I mean, and then the NRA, when they first came around, that was what their stated purpose was to do, was to train people and all this other stuff. The political aspect didn't come along until much later.
Yeah, it was like the 70s whenever they started getting political.
So is it a good thing that they've got so big and so massive and so, I guess, dependent on, or is that a bad thing? And I know there's not like a right or wrong answer. I'm not trying to.
I think that's
anybody.
both. I think it's both.
Yeah, it depends on your perspective and which side you're looking at, of whether it's bad or good. The fact that they've gotten so political and it's gone to their heads, that's definitely not a good thing. But the training and stuff that they provide and the youth programs and everything, that could be said to be good. So I mean, it's a matter of perspective when you're looking at the individual sections of what they do.
Well, and contrary to everybody's belief, and I'm going to get shit for this, and everybody can shill me and or shun me and throw me, or you can shill me, either one, but shun me and throw me out of the room. But the NRA still does more good than all these other organizations put together as far as lobbying wise. Yes, they do stupid stuff that we don't agree with, but they're still doing stuff that is good. Not like we'd like for them to be, but they are doing it. A lot more than you think. And I killed the chat with that.
There you go. So on that note.
Well, it's kind of like I was saying the other day. Imagine them being gone and imagine what goes away.
Yeah, that's my problem with the burn it down theory. You burn it down, the other side's going to capitalize on that. Whether the NRA is doing enough or what we think they should be doing, they are still protecting us from a lot of stuff that goes on.
Well, and that's why you got to have you got to have a multifaceted approach with this. There's no two ways about it. They do some good stuff. With the grants to ranges and the training, and I don't think the Eddie Eagle. Is the Eddie Eagle? I mean, they still got it, but I don't think it's as big as it used to be.
I don't think it is either, but I mean, he's still pretty good size. I met him in the hallway, but oh,
was he as big as the alien from Alien Gear?
Yeah, about the same size as the alien from Alien Gear. Only the Eagle had wings. I don't know where the alien spaceship was. I didn't see it.
I find that kind of suspicious that they're about the same size.
Yeah, did you see?
Yeah, well, I didn't see them. I never saw both of them at the same time either. Just saying. There may be another conspiracy going on here.
Them aliens can shapeshift. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Depends on what planet.
50 aliens.
To get back to what the NRA does, I was talking with Sarge off air in an after chat about some problems I was having with a Speaking Squibbish video I wanted to do on compromise, because I'm about the whole compromise thing, and all these people, no compromise, blah blah. And it's like, okay, I just don't think you guys understand. And I was talking to him, and Sarge is usually the voice of reason. He said it's not about compromise. What they're calling compromise, what you're saying is compromise, is he says it's damage control, it's mitigation, and he's right. This is what the NRA is good at. When there's a bill that's gonna pass. Not we can fight it. It's gonna pass. Where everybody's scared of it. Everybody's getting on YouTube going, this is bad. The NRA gets involved, and they don't try to stop it from passing, because nobody's going to stop it from passing, because it's got so much support and it's so well written, or they've come at this 15 times and now finally it's going to stick. They do damage control, and a lot of people can't swallow that pill. But the GOA, they fight it head on, or the 2AF, they take on court cases, or your state organizations, if you've got a state with 2, 3, 4, 5 organizations, some of them have the same sort of thing. They do things differently. So the NRA is good in the sense that everybody knows them, the people in Capitol Hill are afraid of them, and they're good at doing damage control, whether you like it or not. That's why I've been saying support as many organizazations as you can. So when you need somebody to come in and fight the one that can be defeated, and the NRA is like, no, we're damage control, then let the GOA go in there and kick in some teeth. Let them do what they're good at. But when the GOA is going, we can't fight this, or we're going to fight it, but how many times has the GOA fought and lost miserably? The NRA can get involved and go, okay, we're going to lose, but we're going to save as many things on the way, or we're going to have this rewritten so that we can fight this at a later point a lot easier than if we just let it go. And I know some people just can't handle that, but that's a reality of these sorts of politics. So I think we need all of them, but I still would like to see some changes in the NRA to make it an organization that more people want to get behind, not just rich people.
Well, see, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Squibb is actually right. And here's why. All these people say, and Tim from Military Arms saying, oh, the NRA helped write the bill for the crime bill, the 94 crime bill. Yeah, they did. Guess what it was originally going to be? And it was going to pass. Handguns were going to be banned, and there was going to be confiscation. And it wasn't going to have a sunset date. So there you go.
Now, see, I was around for that stuff, so I remember that stuff. But this is why I usually think it's young people that had this. So when there's somebody my age or older that is jumping on board with this, and I'm thinking, you were around when this happened, you don't remember this? And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, you didn't get into guns until after Sandy Hook, so of course you don't remember this.
Well, look at the Brady bill.
Yep.
The Brady bill and the handgun background checks. They say, well, the NRA wrote NICS. Yeah, the NRA is responsible for NICS. It was a hell of a lot better than what we had, though.
So they're not perfect. They're not going to do everything you want, but they don't specialize in the we're going to take them head on kind of. They're the ones that go in there and mitigate. And some people can't deal with mitigation. Go through a divorce and tell me if you can't deal with mitigation. You're going to have to learn to, or you ain't going to get to see your kids, son. All right? So what I'm saying is each one of these organizations has something they're good at doing. Let them do what they're good at doing and tell them that you want them to keep on doing that. But if you want the NRA to take on the GOA's position, they're not going to do it. If you want the GOA to do things the NRA way, other than trying to scare us into taking our money, they're not going to do it. Same thing with the 2AF and the FPC and all that. I mean, look at the different organizations in Pennsylvania that were putting out false information or bad-mouthing each other right before the rally in Pittsburgh in January. They were butting heads over, who's going to take credit for organizing the rally and who's going to do this. That was on a state level. You think these organizations aren't doing this? The GOA is bad-mouthing the NRA because they want the members, they want the money. Well, they should have I don't want to say should because I don't want to tell somebody what to do. I think it would be good to be a part of both and help support both so that when one doesn't work, we've got the other one. And when that doesn't work, we got a third one. And if that one don't work, we got a fourth one.
That's why I've got 5 different membership cards.
Now, the other part to this too is, you bring all that up, and I don't disagree, but I'm going to say this is, it would also be very beneficial if they would start working together. Rather, I'd love to see all these organizations build themselves up and get all the members they can get, but there's a lot of butting heads between these organizations too.
Well, at the same time,
I don't think you'll ever see that.
They're businesses, and you don't see Ford and Chevy working together to make the best pickup truck.
Now you've hit something else on the head that I said for God, it's been the whole time I've been on YouTube. The problem with the NRA is, and this is the issue they're running into right now, is the fact that they are a non-for-profit, but they run themselves like a profitable business. And you're running into that problem that now you've got where you're making money and you're not supposed to be making money in a sense. And now you've got this problem that you've got, people breathing down your neck about it. They're not supposed to, they shouldn't be running themselves like it's a business, but they shouldn't be running themselves like a profitable business.
I just want to tell y'all something though. You think the NRA is bad in what they do. Our Oklahoma State Rifle and Pistol Association, they went against the NRA over our constitutional carry we passed. Both times we've had it up before the governor. The Oklahoma State Rifle and Pistol Association, which I will never belong to, went against the NRA in pushing for against constitutional carry.
Why?
I don't know.
What's the rationale behind it?
They're terrible. They had a big, long story behind it whenever it happened, and it came out that they were against it.
Are they being fueled by a bunch of gun instructors that are going to lose the money from licensing fees?
They had a big, long story
about,
man.
I
mean, they were all on this bandwagon of it's better to be safe to have that. That's ridiculous. And Oklahoma 2A, the guy I had on my show one day for a little chat after Constitution Carry passed, he is super. I will continually give them money. They are great. And they're working on more bills all the time.
So why can't the NRA become the in-your-face, go after them, heavy hitters that some of the smaller organizations are. Like, why can't they do that?
Because they wouldn't win at times.
Well, I mean, yeah, at times, sure, they wouldn't win everything, but if you go in with a huge membership basis and a big fat wallet, you're going to win something somewhere.
Yeah, and the NRA's just like the Republican Party; they're terrible at winning.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of what I'm leaning toward. Is
and Obnoxious can tell you that firsthand.
The
they're terrible at
Republicans
winning.
couldn't govern to save their lives. But that it would just make sense that if they've got so much pull and they've got so much power, then why don't they use it to do more of the fighting that some of the people want them to do, to be out there in front instead of just being the mitigators, and I agree with Squib that, they sometimes, if it's something or nothing, you gotta get something out of it. So
I don't know why they don't in today's day and age with the with the social media and the reach that they have. And I mean, they've got 5 million members, but how many people support the NRA that aren't a member, and how much reach could they have if they actually decided to go more political and actually fight this stuff? They'd have better reach at it than GOA and FPC and Second Amendment Foundation all put together.
Well, now I would say too, I could see where it would be very useful to have, kind of like the NRA. Pretty much, I would say is the sweet talkers, the one that tries to finesse the situation to at least come out with some benefit. It would benefit us to have that, plus have how we have it right now. But I still stick with, the organizations. I think it would help if they were working together to a point. I'm not expecting the GOA and the NRA to work together. I'm not, but when you see like the state level organizations trying to stop something, but you don't hear about the NRA stepping in or trying to help out, I think it would be more beneficial if they would actually put more of a front to help that group out, even if it's just sitting down with the legislators in that state and trying to figure out what they can do. Just do something rather than just sit to the side and wait for it to all happen.
Yeah.
All right. The NRA is good at letting stuff go way too long.
Let's move on to NRAAM. Let's move away from the NRA for a bit.
Thank God.
Move on to NRAAM. And,
let's move away from the NRA and let's talk about NRAAM.
Yep.
Which has to do with the NRA.
We're talking about the trade show side of it.
We're talking about trade show, and we're going to start this out with a giveaway. It's going to be a pretty decent sized one because I got a lot of shit. So, I have
the three-legged horse.
The Savoy leather. I have a small and a 4X. So if you win, you better either have a child or you better be big and fat. So we have a small and a 4X. I actually have a 3X that's a different design.
Hey, Obnoxious. Was that Savoy leather?
No, that is Savoy leather.
Savoy.
What if you have a big fat kid?
It's spelled Savoy, but it's pronounced Savoy.
They will tell you it's pronounced Savoy too.
Yep. We have a Magpul. Gold. Gold, sparkly.
Ooh. Designer.
Yep. Yeah, so we have one of these.
Nice.
We have a Winchester bottle opener.
There you go.
We have a Bandit custom coating bottle opener. This came from Wanamaker. So I got a bunch of those from those guys while we were there. We have a J.M. Davis Historical Museum, or Arms and Historical Museum challenge coin. It has their logo on the front and has a engraving of J.M. Davis on the back.
Hey, Obnoxious. I got a real quick message to send you. Hey, douchebag, plug the Harrisburg rally on Monday at 10 a.m. in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
No, I'm not plugging a fucking Harrisburg rally on Monday in Harrisburg at 10 a.m. for somebody that calls me a fucking douchebag. After that person that called me a douchebag sent me such a nice letter, and then he comes in here acting all tough like he's a big man. So I'm not plugging your fucking Harrisburg rally on Monday at 10 a.m. We got Geisley.
Of course, in a minute he's going to say, why? Like armament.
I thought that's how they greet each other in Pennsylvania. I don't know. Isn't that typical? Hey,
Forgotten Country.
it's like a Philly greeting, you know?
Yep. We have a CZ custom pin.
Mr. King of Swag.
Well, I told you I got a ton of this shit, so this one's going to be a decent sized giveaway.
Don't give away my Foghorn Leghorn.
We got a Troy sticker. I believe it's a sticker. Yeah, it's a sticker. We got a Black Rifle Coffee Company sticker because every time I get a shipment from Black Rifle Coffee Company, they send me a sticker.
Rob D wants to know, is that Yankee in orange? He said the video's so rough, he thought it was Yankee.
Yeah, well, I've got DSL just like Yankee, so it might be.
It has that softening Barbara Walters effect on it. So.
Yes, it's a Barbara Walters filter. A Fort Scott Munitions, which also came from Wanamaker. We have a Hunt Henry, which you can't see because it's white on white, or Hunt with a Henry. We have a Thompson Center koozie, a Metgar magazine keychain, and a Daniel Defense patch, which I grabbed like a ton of these because when I was walking around doing my live stream on Sunday, and they just had a bunch of them sitting out there on the desk, and I asked them if I could grab a bunch for giveaways, and they said sure. So I grabbed a bunch. And a CZ hat. Yeah, nice like flex fit hat. So that is our giveaway. And the first person to answer the question wins it. Who dropped their gun on the live stream on Thursday night?
Gun snob.
You're on the panel.
I win.
And you were there.
Give it all to me. Give me all the swag. Give it
away.
to me.
So the first person to type the freaking answer that roll call just hollered out.
Yes. I win. You lose. I win.
And it technically is it dropping it if it doesn't hit anything?
Yes, you dropped it.
It was unloaded and I caught it.
Butterfingers.
Gizzard is the first one to win.
Yeah, but I'm on the panel too. Does that count?
You're on the panel, but you weren't there. All right. So you all right if I send it to Weston Frost?
Yeah, do it.
All righty. Weston, obnoxious1live@gmail.com. It's OBNXS1live. Send me your address, and I will get the big prize package out to you.
I ate dinner with that. Oh yeah, you were there too. Never mind. We
What?
ate dinner with him. We ate dinner with him one night, Weston.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, at Genghis. He was at Genghis with us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm not sure which one he was at Genghis with.
Didn't you sit at my table? Because if you did, you sat right next to him. Yeah, he said I sat by you. He sat right next to you. I thought so.
I'm
Hey,
terrible.
Weston.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Weston, did he drop his bowl too?
I didn't drop
No,
it.
I didn't drop my bowl.
Snob wasn't going to drop any food, just a gun.
Ah.
Thank God it wasn't a SIG P320.
Yeah.
That could have been bad, man.
Hammer time.
No, yeah, he would have had to have a hammer for it.
All right, so there's our first official NRAAM giveaway.
Patriot says, "Oh, I see. It's rigged."
Oh my God. It's awesome.
Screw you, Weston.
Well, make sure to keep your eyes out, Patriot.
See, Midnight says, "Okay, be that way."
Everybody really needs to quit picking on SIG for their innovation. I mean, they're just trying to have a hammer-fired, striker-fired pistol. What's wrong with that?
Yes, I am going to be that way, Midnight. I am not going to promote your Harrisburg rally Monday at 10 a.m. It's not going to do it. And I don't want anybody else in my chat to promote Midnight's Harrisburg rally at 10 a.m. on Monday.
Okay, I absolutely will not promote that. Harrisburg rally, 10 a.m. Monday, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
The Harrisburg, Pennsylvania rally at 10 a.m. on Monday that I'm going to go to. I'm going to make sure that I don't mention that Midnight Range is going to be there.
All right. I appreciate you guys abiding by the chat rules.
I'm Travis Caleb, and I approve this message.
Yeah,
Midnight Range. That message I just typed
Rally
directly to you.
Harrisburg at 10 o'clock on Monday.
And in case you watch the Black Hat channel on YouTube, he might talk about
We're not
this.
promoting that.
He might talk about the Harrisburg rally Monday, May 6th.
I'm touring out 357. I don't know what rally y'all are talking about.
It's in Harrisburg at 10 a.m. on Monday, but don't.
I told you not to mention that.
Yeah, it's I believe it's at the state capitol, but don't go there. We're not promoting it, so don't do that.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't mention the Harrisburg rally.
And now in Spanish, ustedes deben asistir a la reunión de Harris, Pennsylvania este sábado a las 10. What day of the week was it again?
Monday,
May 6th.
Lunes. Gracias. There you go.
Now, there's like 18 people that speak Spanish listen to this, so you just made their day.
I know, and they'll be there, and they'll be excited now.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Good luck communicating when they show up, but
I feel like Travis in every chat should just repeat everything we say in Spanish. That way, the Spanish.
I'll be doing like real time closed captioning.
Travis is our SAP.
Tío, puedo traducir. Muy bien, vámonos. I'll be like simulcasting the chat like in Spanish over on my channel. That's what it should be doing. That'd be easier.
That would be awesome. You got to do that someday.
There you go. It's a Yankee Marshal in Spanish. That's El Alguacil Yankee. Oh man, that just doesn't sound right. That sounds like something you got to give yourself when you get a rash.
Yeah, I've got another thing I call him in Spanish, but I'll keep that private.
Starts with the P, ends with an O. What? We don't teach that kind of language.
Oh, now it's train guys here. Since forklift guys in the chat, we got train guy in the
He's
background.
train spotting right now. So
I haven't done a train video in a while, and that's the closest I'm going to get.
You can do it on my chat. All right.
Come on, Squib, ride that train.
Next thing you know, somebody's going to be wanting to promote some kind of Harrisburg rally at 10 a.m. on Monday in my chat.
Dude, you're so going to get a copyright strike because of that train horn now. I guarantee UP's got that on file somewhere, and you're going to get nailed.
CSX, we're good.
You weren't supposed to mention the Harrisburg rally Monday at 10 a.m.
Oh, I said in Spanish, so it's okay. We're good.
I wasn't supposed to mention the Harrisburg rally at 10 a.m.?
No, you definitely weren't supposed to mention the Harrisburg rally Monday at 10 a.m.
No.
I violated my own chat rules.
That's a good way to get limit or no ad strapped on your video.
Yeah, do not be going to Harrisburg on May the 6th for any rallies. Don't do it. We're not promoting it.
When I get to 1,000, I get that first limited or no ads on my videos. I'm going to wear that with pride.
You act like you get to 1,000 and you get it automatically. Hell, I've been like 4 months.
Okay, Sarge.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any more about this supposed rally.
Where is that taking place? Is that
the State House?
That's the State House. That's the Pennsylvania State House. I've been there.
Where would that be? Is that in?
That's in Harrisburg.
It's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, wait. Midnight Range TM has autographs 50% off with code Gun Channels on Monday at the rally in Harrisburg at 10 a.m.
So
do you get a free O-Light with that?
So now nobody's going to go to the rally.
Oh, now we're going to talk about the O-Lights. Let's talk about the O-Lights not being drop safe, shall we?
I ain't dropped my O-Light.
I broke mine.
Somebody in this chat did, and they busted it. They busted it all the time.
Yep. Everybody else on all the big gun channels, they drop theirs off pickups and they keep working. But me, I drop mine from 1.5 meters and she don't turn back on.
Hey, that's the magic of Adobe Premiere. You can make it look like when they send you 20, you can make the next one look like it's still working.
Well, I told them I broke it, and she's like, okay, we'll just send it to this address. I'm like, okay, I've got an unfinished video, but cool. And so I just posted what I had. So, yeah.
You know what? I'm fine with it. I want to see if somebody's had a problem, and then I want to see what, the problem, how it's resolved.
Yeah, I'll be kind of curious to actually get back with me on that. That might have been the only one that they sent me. I've never broken a light before, and I drop them all on my tests. So I have no idea what they're going to do.
We probably took you off the list.
Yeah, I'll be surprised. That's all right.
Maybe they'll add Obnoxious. He's been wanting on
it. Can you put in a good word for me, maybe?
Yeah, we'll do, man.
All right.
Are we still not promoting the rally?
No, we are still not promoting the rally in Harrisburg at 10 a.m.
Yeah, I'm not going to say no.
You mean the one on Monday? Monday the 6th?
No, that's the one we're not promoting. It's the one on Monday at 6.
The one to support gun rights in MPA?
Right. That's
right.
One.
Yep.
So if Harrisburg's on first, who's on second?
And we're definitely not promoting Midnight Range selling autographs for 50% off.
No, we really
not
aren't
at all.
promoting that. Seriously.
No, this one's serious, folks. We are not promoting him selling his autographs.
So
I have his autograph, but I can't even give the dang thing away.
what exactly is 50% off of nothing?
He gives you $1.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give you.
So at this rally in Harrisburg at 10 a.m. on Monday that we're not promoting, if you go up to Midnight Range and give him the code Gun Channels, he will give you an autograph and $1.
That's awesome.
You heard it. You heard it here first.
Whoever sees Midnight at this rally, take a picture with them, post it on social media, on Instagram or whatever social media site you do. Tag me in it, and I'll send you a patch. That's how it's going to work.
So you're looking for a picture.
If you hit him in the face with a cream pie.
You're looking for a picture of somebody at Midnight Range at the rally on Monday, May 6th at 10 a.m. in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania?
No, because we're not promoting that.
Dude, I am so there.
What if it's, how are you going to know it's not Photoshopped, Maybe I'll just Photoshop Gizzard Gary in there, riding on Midnight Range shoulders.
We'll have to get a swab of his DNA. You'll have to wipe his sweaty brow and then keep the Kleenex and send it in for DNA analysis for proof. So
There's so many better things to Photoshop than a picture of Midnight Range, so come on.
I'll know it. I'll know if Gun Snob tries to Photoshop because it'll be like cutting off half of his head.
Hey guys, I sometimes suffer from short-term memory loss. Is there a rally coming up?
We're not promoting the rally that's coming up at 10 a.m. in Harrisburg on Monday the 6th.
So there was going to be a rally.
If you're really interested in this rally Monday, May 6th in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and you want to know what kind of shoes people are wearing, then the Gun Snob should film it for you.
Those he actually gets all in camera. So, all right, let's talk about NRAAM a little bit because we spent 20 minutes on a giveaway and talking about a rally that we weren't going to talk about. So.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Promoting the rally. There's a difference.
Did you see his last comment?
Yeah, I saw it.
I'm not even gonna read it. It's so bad. Oh!
Ouch!
That's the last time I talked about the rally in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 10 a.m. They're gonna be that way. So NRAAM.
Was that in Pennsylvania?
No, that is not in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania at 10 a.m. on Monday.
Was it May 6th?
No.
Oh,
It was last year.
May 5th?
Cinco de Mayo?
Sí, señor.
Oh.
Cinco de Mayonnaise.
The Squid, you went to NRAAM. You were only there for a day.
Well, that's an uncomfortable pause.
I'm not exactly sure how to respond to that.
Yes, he was there for a day.
I thought maybe he would jump in.
Oh.
Did you have enough time?
Yes, sort of.
He must be someplace where he can't really talk because we're getting take note. We just got a 2-word response out of Squid.
Yes.
So,
you think
Can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Nobody understands the words that are coming out of your mouth.
All right, roll call. Everybody? Roll call.
Hey, roll call, come here. Hey, roll call, come here.
What was the question? Hold on, I got little guys chirping.
You got a whole lot of
Corgi.
Oh,
You know what that corgi would do to Larry?
With the animals.
roll call. How was NRAAM for you once you got your once I actually hauled you by your ear into the freaking press room and got you your press? How was NRAAM for you?
It was a great experience. I learned a lot. And I learned people do not know who the shit I am. They absolutely have no idea who I am. and I learned that real quick. So I thought I was popular. I am not popular at all. People don't know a clue about me, who I am, who I'm with. I learned that real quick.
You got from the spray on hair commercials? Yeah.
I literally had people ask me who the hell I was. And
You're
I'm
that guy who
like,
fell asleep at the Cubs.
Who the hell are you?
They couldn't read your press pass?
yeah, I told them I'm from the press. And then they're like, well, what press are you from? I said, I'm from the Roll Call 219 channel. I'm Roll Call. They're like, who the hell is that? And I give them my card and I'm like, well, you look me up and I'll come back to your booth when I go over here. And then you let me know. I go back to the booth and the guy's like, you have a foul mouth. I'm like, I'm a little risque.
I don't know where the heck they come up with that.
You got discipline, dude. That's awesome, man. Oh my God.
I'm like, I said, I'm just starting off, I'm past 100 subscribers. I'm like, there's 400 people I can reach for your product. And they're like, would you like a patch? I'm like, is that my cue to go away? I'm like,
take the patch and run, bro. Take
So
the
in other words, you
run.
should have seen the bag of patches Roll Call left with.
Oh man, Cindy was the swag hound. I mean, she got swag for days. I got enough. That's why I said, if you see midnight at some rally in Hershey, Pennsylvania at 6 o'clock on Monday.
Not at the chocolate factory, my God.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Take a picture with me.
Just a minute. You're a cheap bribe. All we gotta do is give you a patch and you eat.
So
There's going to be a whole 4 people that show up in Hershey, Pennsylvania at 10 a.m. on May 6th going, where the hell's the rally?
Where's the State House?
Chocolate here.
Oh God.
So you went to people and said, I got 400 some subscribers. You want me to show your product? And they're like, well, here's a patch. Go away.
Yeah, that's pretty much how, I would say
You should have told him 400,000 subscribers and then told him you're like Eric from Iraqi Veteran or something.
Well, I told him.
He kind of looks like Chad.
After I was told to leave the Hickok booth, I went over to another one. I'm like, see, I know Hickok 45. See, he's looking at me. Look, I'm his #1 fan. See, they're showing me I'm his #1 fan.
I don't think that's what Hickok was saying.
No, I don't think that's what the other guy was saying when he told me to leave either. So, but no, it was a great experience. I met a lot of cool people. I keep on pushing them, but CP Custom Guns, great people. There's some veterans that work for them. They're great people, and I met them, and I hope to build relationships with the people I met. I got free targets from people, and they even asked about me, and we talked, and it's a lot different from Wanamaker. Wanamaker is pretty much like small companies and private people. This is like the big dogs. Like some booths you can't get into, like the Glock booth. You got to wait your time. You got to bide your time and come swing back around if you can find your way around there. But yeah, I mean, it's an eye-opening experience, and this shows that I have a ton of work to do. Whether I tone down my attitude in my mouth, which will probably never happen, but just letting people know, I'm out here and I'm trying to do the thing that some people take for granted. And I'm not taking this for granted, and I'm willing to push your product, and I'm willing to let people know. I'm like, most of the stuff that I bought at the show, I didn't ask for it. And I even had people ask me, well, do you want this? I'm like, no, I'm going to buy this. Voodoo Tactical is one of those companies that, I got a patch that said Afghanistan veteran and Vietnam veteran for Cindy's dad. And she asked me, she said, you're a veteran? I said, yeah. And she gave it to me for free. I'm like, well, I got to buy something from your booth. She's like, it's not necessary. I'm like, yeah. So I bought stuff from their booth. I'm not there to get free stuff. I'm not there to, send me 12 guns and then I'll send. No, it's not like that. I'll buy your product if it's good. Then fine, I'll buy your product, but you can send something on the back end if you want to. But all in all, if it's a good product, I'm going to use it in everyday life.
See, Obnoxious, that's what's good about roll call being there. He was there not for the free stuff. Like me and Obnoxious, that's all we were there for, was just the free stuff. I mean,
That's not true. They're mostly for the free stuff.
yeah, mostly, yeah. That and the great food.
Man, that food was expensive. That was redunculous.
This explains why some of the booths I went to, when I mentioned that I was a part of gun channels and on YouTube and all that, they said, "Oh, tell me you're not like the last guy. His mouth was freaking horrible."
No, I didn't try and plug anything about gun channels, especially if I did something stupid like drop their guns or something.
I did see you. You went to the gun shop school of Instagram posting.
That's because my Instagram on my phone, when I post it from my phone, sometimes if I take a picture up close, Instagram will not let me shrink it down. I can like pinch it and shrink it down, but it'll go back to its original form on some angles that I take pictures on.
Cut that out, and I want that as a ringtone. Roll call saying I can pinch it and shrink it down.
Whoa.
Gary's over there on it. Gary's like, I got this.
Well, I've been sitting here listening to Roll Call's little rant here, and it's just like every 5 seconds something's coming out like that, and I'm just laughing my ass off over here.
He's just a meme waiting to happen. I'll tell you what, man.
So I'll roll call. Did you have a good time?
Oh, it was fantastic. I didn't get to see Mr. Guns and Gear. I was really sad because I've been bugging that guy on Instagram that whole week, telling him I was going to lick him right in the head, make sure it was a bald head and it was real. I think he was kind of avoiding me. And then
I think he had 18
else.
security guards around him on Saturday. I don't know, but
I don't know. And then I didn't meet Hank Strange and Lola. I told him, look, I miss you. He said, maybe next time. And I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know. But I did get to meet a lot of people in that press room. That's an amazing experience because I'm not new to YouTube, but I've been putting out content for just the last couple of years, and to see people that I've watched on YouTube, doing reviews and whatnot, it's pretty cool. And some of those people are down to earth people. How I got into gun channels is I watched Travis P's video on the Sky CPX2 because mine was a piece of poop, and so was his. So I'm like,
all right, man.
Me and this guy can relate, and that's how I went down the rabbit hole. And that's
hey,
how
Obnoxious, I found somebody for you to send that hat to.
Travis?
Yeah, Travis.
You want a sky hat, Travis?
I could use some kindling for my fireplace next fall. So yeah.
Hey, Roko, I have a serious question for you.
Go ahead.
All right, you were talking about meat and stuff. How was my meat that you took home? Did you enjoy it?
It needed a little seasoning, but yeah, it worked out good.
Well, typically it's just my meat. Sometimes you have to season it some.
Yeah, it had a little bit of hair in it, but it was all right.
It wasn't my hair.
Well, it was good enough that I went back for, I think, seconds and thirds and fourths.
All right.
It was delicious.
What can I say?
So, Tardat, what did you think of NRAAM? You went to last year in Dallas. Was it Dallas or Houston?
That Dallas, yeah.
That was the first one you'd been to?
Yeah, the one in Dallas, the first one I went to. And I mean, this year, the difference really for me came into play with those of y'all that hadn't been yet and trying to really, there wasn't much educating that needed to be done. Y'all kind of knew what was going on, but I was just kind of trying to help y'all out a little bit. Overall, the experience was pretty good. I met up with a few new companies and obviously spent a lot of time talking to some companies that I met with last year, especially UTAS or UTAS or whatever they go by. I'm Texan, so words get pronounced differently.
Uterus. It's uterus.
Frank and Freddie over there, we all pretty much go over and spend hours talking to them when we go to these shows because we've spent so many times emailing them and working with them. But go ahead.
I just have a quick question. So are you moving to like Kentucky or somewhere next year? Because you seem to be moving right before NRA shows. So That way you're close to it.
I was talking to Gunpowder about it. That may be up for debate. I do have family in Kentucky, so that's something that could happen.
That way you're at least close by to it.
Yeah, at least somewhat nearby, a couple hours away at the most. We'll see what happens there. But no, this year it was actually really good, especially and we've all said it, and it kind of sounds corny, but it's really not to me. Is having so many of us there from gun channels. I mean, I think there was like just creator wise, I think there was at least like 15 of us, maybe 20. So I mean, having that kind of outreach, that kind of mass there. I mean, here eventually there's going to be so many of us that they're going to have no choice but to pay attention.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. We had to have 15 or 20 in that picture with the patches, and you got smaller guys like me, and then we had Jared from Guns and Gadgets.
Nothing about you. Well, nothing. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say that. Never mind. Just forget I even talked.
You're about to go down a road call on rabbit hole there, Snub.
Yeah, I stopped myself.
But I will say this, Rocco was talking about getting the free stuff, and I'm kind of with y'all, Snob and Obnoxious. I was looking for the free stuff, but it's not so much for me. It's not so much the sense of looking for free stuff for the sake of free stuff. And I know it's the same for y'all too. I know it's all a big joke, but the big part of it is just, it's getting the content and being able to put something out for these people and them enjoying what you're doing. That's the big part of it. And making those contacts after the show, that's when it really comes into play about talking to them about doing T&E reviews, whatever else, is you keep up the contact with them, show them any videos or pictures or whatever else you did at their booth, and just kind of helping them along, which also helps you along.
Oh yeah, I mean, you get the people that say, "Oh, you're just a show farm," but it's like I said, until I got home and I got a video coming out of one of the bags I got. The first thing I've ever gotten for T&E is from Save Your Equipment. I got a couple bags from them that were here when I got home. So those will be coming out, and I'll get to take a look at that. But everything else that you've ever seen on my channel is something I bought.
Well, I've got something to say about the shill thing, and you talking about like that. Yeah, I would love to not have to get something for free to do, but my pocketbook only lets me buy so much stuff a year. So that's only so much content a year that you're getting to see unless you get stuff for free to review, because that can get really expensive real fast. And unless you're, Travis P11 money, you aren't able to do
that. Man. Yeah.
Well, Gunpowder says that Snob, you need to stop lying. It's your wife that's restricting how much you can spend.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. I ain't lying.
Well, and that's the thing is, to run these channels and to actually be able to do reviews, that is what it takes. And none of us have that much money. And even if you look at the big channels out there now that are big now, back when they were in our position, they were in the same spot. They had to make the contacts, to be able to get to where they're at. They're not being able to just go out and buy all this stuff necessarily just on a whim to be able to do a review. So, it's how you get to the position that they're at, is to be able to make these contacts and help these companies out. And like I said a minute ago, anything you do to help these companies and promote these companies kind of comes back to you, because they're going to help promote you and push you also.
Now, see, I like the way you put that, Tardot, about you're promoting their product. But here's the thing. If somebody approaches you or anybody else on a panel, okay, about being a shill because you got free stuff, has anybody ever said back to that person, okay, you drive so many hours, you get a hotel, you go to the show, you bring camera equipment, you talk to these people, you get sore feet, you use a vacation day from work, you download the video, you edit it, you publish it, you do, and then you can then tell me I'm a shill. I mean, I can see how you're saying from the work. On the other hand, nobody's asking anybody to do any of this. There's nobody. I mean, you might get a fan that says, "Hey, do a video on this," But I mean, overall, nobody is now, and you might have a company that you're dealing with, you know, now that you got your foot in the door, that now says, hey, can you do this? Can you? So in a way, in that sense, yeah, people are asking you. But overall, nobody picked up the phone one day and called you and said, man, would you start up a YouTube channel? And do you think you could work it into something where you get something free? So I can see sort of both sides of it. But have you ever told somebody who's called you a shill, then you put in the same amount of work and let's see if your mind changes?
Yes, I have, to a point. I've flat out said that, and we've had this discussion, I believe it was on Clover's chat, and saying that when we go to do these reviews and we're going to make these contacts with these companies, a lot of times it's coming mostly out of our pocketbooks. And in the end, it's us doing the labor. Like you said, it's us walking these shows. I mean, we were there a lot of us were there for 3 days straight, walking the whole floor, talking to everybody we could. And I mean, it's us making the trip, taking time away from family, taking time away from work, and walking everywhere. And, you know, it's labor intensive as much as people may want to think it's not. In the end, it is, especially when you're a small channel and you don't have people that are there to do the editing for you, to do the filming for you and whatever else. And you can just cruise around on a scooter and go right up and just start talking to the booth. You know, when you don't have that, it is very labor intensive. It's basically, if we are getting a gun or a bag or something else to do a review on, we are paying for it. Sometimes it may even be tenfold.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Even a real quick video of, you know, just an unboxing or something. I mean, by the time you get it and get everything set up and get the video filmed, and then you gotta take it and edit it and get it posted. I mean, even a real simple, real quick video would probably have an hour or two of labor into it.
Yeah, on my Bear Creek Upper video that I did where I tested the 224 Valkyrie, I put 4 hours of range time in for 11 minutes of footage, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, from the time I got everything lined up, and my range is only 15 minutes away. Got back, I mean, it was 5 or 6 o'clock at night, and I started at 9 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. You know, I mean, when it was all said and done, by the time I was done editing the video, and again, nobody's making me do it, but people need to understand, because I'm doing it, you know, there are just, it is a drain on my resources. Look at any industry that provides, I don't want to say entertainment, look at any TV show, look at any documentary, any film. Those people are all getting compensation for their work. Actors get compensation for their work, you know? So I'm producing content you can consume. I'm going to try to compensate myself for the energy and the time and the life that I put into it, you know?
Yeah,
I don't have a trust fund to fund it with. It's me, and that's it. It's me doing everything, you know?
And and these people that do run around and say shill and all that really need to keep in mind too. And I'm not going to say anybody's necessarily a shill, even though we do know that there are some. But when you got to keep in mind, when you look at that when we do this content, there's most of us, especially the smaller creators, we're not going into these situations and going to these companies asking for money. We're usually going just saying, hey, we will do a review for you if you can get it in my hands, and that's it.
You know, what you really need to come up with is this magical way. Like, it's got to be magic, because, you know, it would already exist otherwise. But a way for, you know, if Squib does a video that I don't like, that I don't have to watch it, and I don't have to comment, and I don't have to thumbs up, you know, there's got to be something that you can do. You know, it's same thing with TV. Like, my TV's stuck on this one channel, and I hate it, and I can't figure what I'm supposed to do about it, except maybe buy a new TV. You know, figure out a way to change the channel, or maybe not watch those videos. Or, you know, you could just continue to cry and whine and complain about what somebody else is doing, but yet you keep watching these videos. That's what I don't understand, is if you hate what, you know, anyone on the panel or anyone anywhere else in the world of YouTube or anywhere, you don't like what they're doing, don't watch what they're doing.
I did. I stopped watching Yankee Marshall.
Well, that's exactly how it's supposed to work. But it doesn't work that way. They continue watching your videos, Squib, and they continue saying that you're a shill for Travis P11.
But that's fine, though. The thing is, though, I'm not a shill yet, but maybe one day I will be. If it'll get me a big house, I guess I don't care. Vote for me for board of directors NRA. But so, you know, here's something. I released 3 videos this week about going to the show, and I wanted to talk about my experience, but I tried to approach it from a different standpoint. I've watched the live shows before and after, and I've watched the videos from SHOT Show, from Wanamaker, from NRA, from the Great American Outdoor Show. I don't think I've watched any from TriggerCon, but I've seen some. I've even seen some of the machine gun shoot, Big Sandy, stuff like that. And some of the videos and live shows I think are done really well, and other ones kind of have this message that's kind of like, look at me, I can do this and you can't because I live close, or I've got tons of money, or I've got vacation time, or somebody paid for me to go, or I can this, and I'm not saying people say those words directly, but you can almost hear it in the tone of their voice, or you can see it in the way that they film their stuff or the way they present it. And I didn't want to do that. I happen to be lucky enough to be able to get the time off work. I happen to be lucky enough to live 5 hours away. I happen to be lucky enough to have money for fuel. And I happen to be lucky enough to know some people that could help me out as far as, ideas for parking or what to bring or whatever else like that. And I wanted to do my videos. I did talk about what I did. I did talk about my experience. So if there's a whole me thing in there, that's the part of it. But what I wanted to show was, how early in the morning you got to leave, or that you have to go to 3 parking structures before you find one that's open, or how long it takes to go through registration, or how crowded it is, or anything like that. I wanted to try to approach it from a different standpoint. And that's not to say I don't have any interviews. Next week I'll have 1 or 2 interviews to release, and I might be able to take some footage and put them on some stuff later on down the road, maybe recycle it and use it somewhere else. But I think that for anybody who's never gone to one of these shows, or anybody who watches these videos that gets that same vibe, it's like, well, aren't you in a special club? That sort of thing. I was trying to approach it from a different point of view, and I'm not trying to slam anybody's videos who is on the panel or listening that thinks I'm talking about them. You don't know exactly who I'm talking about or when.
All right, Squib, quit talking about me.
I'm not saying either that somebody did this intentionally, like they were trying to thumb at your nose. But there are lots of people who have never done these things. They've never gone to these things. But these are also the ones that are, when you say, hey, man, why don't you start making videos? They're afraid to make videos. So, I mean, some of that kind of falls into the whole shill thing where it's like, look, I paid money out of my pocket. I did this. I did that. If you want to go to Wanamaker, if you want to take a picture with a G in your hand, you're going to have to do some of that stuff. You're going to have to take time off work. You're going to have to pay for travel. You're going to have to join gun channels,
I do want to throw one thing out there, and this is something that I know Obnoxious and everybody's already seen in the chat, and then I was going to mention about, and I'll be done with this topic, but, the comment was made out there about you either enjoy it or you don't. Well, that is true. And I do enjoy doing this. This is why I've done it for over a year now. And it becomes kind of a passion for you. But just because you enjoy it or it's a passion doesn't mean you can't benefit from it in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
There's people that end up doing a job for years and years that they're passionate about, and they're making money off of it. There's no problem with that. It's just when somebody doesn't take it serious enough to actually either motivate themselves to become more in that community, or become more on YouTube or whatever else. I mean, it's all on the person. If you're passionate about it, you want to continue doing it, we can, you keep doing it. That's no matter if you're a small channel or big channel, you look at ways to keep making content, whether it's meeting with companies or just doing chats, whatever it's going to come out to be in.
Let's also put this back into perspective. This is a voluntary basis. The people who Patreonize you, or I don't know what the word is, give you guys Patreon money or super chat money or whatever, or buy patches or sticker. You're not forcing them to do this. You're not charging for this content. These people are willing to send you money. What don't people understand about that? If I wanted to send, Tardot $20, that's my choice because I enjoy what he does. I think he's cool. Blah blah. Whatever reason, I want to send him $20. It's a voluntary basis. What is the big deal if somebody gets paid or not to do something that they like doing?
Yeah, and
So I've got $20. Do I hear $40 anywhere? Do I hear 40, 50?
Not for me, brother. And that's the same thing, kind of the same thing with, if somebody wants to send you a backpack, or they want to send you a gun case, or they want to send you, anything, is they're kind of at that point a Patreon. I mean, or a patron, because the problem I have is with somebody who doesn't disclose it. Like everything that you see for me, if I got it from some company, I'm going to tell you I got it from the company, and I'm going to put it through a workout, and I'm going to give you, to the best of my abilities, an honest review on it. Whether that shakes out as good or bad, that's going to be on the company that sent me their product. Hopefully they're confident enough in their product. They're not sending out junk to me, because that's not going to turn out well for them, and I'm not going to get anything else from them. But if they've got a bad product, that's fine as well. So if you see me and I seem like I'm giving a positive review of the product, that's because I'm actually giving you a positive review of the product. It's not because I got it for free. It's because whether I got it for free or I paid for it myself, it deserves a positive review.
Plus, you're going to face feedback from that.
Yeah.
If you say that this gun is the greatest gun that's ever been built, and I ran over it with the tank and took it in the shower with me, and it still fired 1-inch groups at 10,000 yards, and then I go buy the gun, and the first time I pull the trigger, it falls apart. The first person that I'm coming to is you. Say, you told me that this thing was great, and then your comment section is going to blow up with a bunch of people talking about the same thing. Then the next company that you go to isn't going to give you anything.
Right.
So you've got your reputation to think about as well.
Yeah, exactly. And as far as this, it's something you enjoy, and yeah, I do enjoy it, and I did enjoy going to NRAAM, but if I didn't have this channel, I mean, it might have been a one-time thing. I might have gone to Wanamaker. It might have been a one-time thing because I've gone there and I've done it. I may go, if I didn't have this channel, I may go back at a different time. If I didn't have this channel and I went to NRAAM and I enjoyed it, it may have been a one-time thing, and I may never go back to NRAAM again. But I have the channel and I'll go back there. And there's, as much as I may enjoy doing some stuff with this channel, there's other stuff that's work. And like I said, it can, even just a short video can take you an hour or two in the whole production of it and getting it up there. And there's stuff about running this channel that I don't particularly care for, like running a live chat. I don't like running the live chats. I like being in them. I like talking to you guys. I like getting on somebody else's live chat, but running it myself, that's every night that I come down here to run a live chat, I have to make myself come down here and run a live chat.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Okay. Yeah. If it's joining in, and this Snob is hosting one, or Sarge is hosting one, or somebody else is hosting one, I'm perfectly happy to come down and jump into it. But getting down here and running it myself, I don't like doing it.
Well, I got one thought on this NRAAM thing and getting stuff for free and stuff. Let me tell you all a little secret. I walked almost 10 miles each of the 3 days. And I'm fat. I don't walk 10 miles a day.
Oh, quit belly aching about it. You need the exercise.
Oh, I'm sorry you cut out. Couldn't hear you.
Preaching to the choir.
But
I'm flippy. I don't walk.
but anyways,
who cares? I don't care if Ruger sends you a pallet full of guns for free.
How'd you know they were sending me a pallet full of guns?
Because you're going to give me half the pallet.
You can get them to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter.
They send me a pallet full of guns. There's going to be some giveaways going on.
Yeah. No, what I was going to get to with this is I could have stayed home. I work for myself. I could have stayed home, and I took off 4 days to do this. Well, I didn't, because I do work a lot of weekends, believe it or not. So I took off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No, I took off 5 technically because I did not work Monday because we got home at 4:30 in the morning. So 5 days. Had I stayed home and worked every one of those 5 days that I could have bought everything that I will probably ever get for free from this easily and had money left over not counting the money, the $1,500 or whatever I spent just to go up there, stay up there and do it. I did it because I enjoy it. And it is kind of nice to get something back for the channel. And, you know, I mean, to an extent for me, but really most of the stuff that's two things that I'm actually getting from there for sure aren't stuff that I probably would have bought. So it's not like it's that big of a gain. It's for the channel. I mean, yeah, it's neat, but.
So how do you feel about the people who get paid to go to these?
I feel jealous.
Me too. I'm not gonna lie.
Although,
I
Snob, I do want to say one thing. I think next year we should all chip in and just rent a bunch of those little motorized carts so we don't have to walk around anymore.
I agree. I'm too fat for that walking stuff.
Dude,
and
it
not
was
eating all
great.
day.
Rick just plowed right through the crowd for Ohio 45 and I. He just plowed right through. We just rode in his wake. It was great.
You better get it on camera, otherwise I'm gonna act like a snob and be pissed that there wasn't camera video of it.
Well, in today's video, I said it was like work, and it was, but it was fun work. It was work I enjoyed. It was definitely worth it. I thought it was great to get to meet some of you guys in person for the first time, some of you guys the second time, one of you guys for the fourth time. So and I really wish I could have got more time to hang out, but I put in my video that we all kind of parted ways and got right to it, and that's what I saw happen there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I was busy, you know, technically I felt like I was working. Yes, I was enjoying it 100%. Don't get me wrong. There's no part of it I didn't enjoy. Well, maybe the drive home was kind of miserable, but other than that,
the walking and the potholes and
yeah, well, okay. And the food was terrible.
And not eat until midnight because
Yeah.
we let that and gunpowder
Yeah, that was them.
ordering duty.
Kiss my butt.
Now, you brought up the
So did
walking
you end
10
up with-
miles, Snob.
Did
Mhm.
you
gotta-
just end
gotta
up with
keep
hot
in
dog
mind, too.
sandwiches?
Squib covered you.
I say everybody needs to keep in mind when we're talking about walking 10 miles too. I know personally, I had back problems most of the weekend because it's with at least like 20 pounds of gear hauled behind you too.
Oh yeah, I had that backpack, my stupid heavy camera crap that Squib was making fun of.
Yeah, and like you said, you know, you can enjoy your work. You know, I told Dano in the chat, I enjoy having the guns and the gear and you know having the neat stuff, but there's work involved in these channels too. It's not all wine and roses for everybody. I mean, and like I said, the live chats come down and running them. I don't like doing that, but I do it. You know, I'd rather. And there's times when you go and you've got to put out a video and you just don't want to turn on that camera because you don't want to be in front of it. You know, so it's work, and you know a lot of times it's work you enjoy. And going to the show was definitely work I enjoyed. I had a great time. I had a great time even walking all that, and you know, but you're still working when you're there if you're going as your channel, because you're trying to make the contacts, you're trying to meet the people, you're trying to see the products, you're trying to get a video and get it out. And you know, and as far as sleeping when you go to these things, forget about it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go at the show all day and then you're going to come back to the house or the hotel or whatever, and you're going to be in chats all night
or just hanging out with the people that are there.
Hanging out with the people that are there and talking about, you know, what you saw and what you think they might be interested in going to see, and maybe hooking up with them and going to see something together and doing a video together. And yeah.
Oh, and then you forgot you have to take all the footage off your cards and stuff, put it on the computer and check it and make sure it's all good.
Yep.
That night. So it was literally, you know, 2, 3 in the morning each night and back up by 6 in the morning.
You have to stick all the swag in the mail to all the different people that you promised swag to, and you got to pay $13 whole.
Rip off. Kiss Gary.
Yeah.
Hey,
I know
Midnight
that,
Rain.
It's easier if you just take your swag to the rally in Harrisburg on Monday, May 6th at 10 a.m. and just hand it out in person. That way you don't have to pay postage.
We're not talking about the rally in Harrisburg on Monday at 10 a.m.
Hey, Midnight, did you get a package today? You should have. Or Mia should have. Did you check your PO
See,
box?
you could have
Probably
just
not.
given me that stuff at the show, and I would have delivered it to him.
If I'd have thought about it, I would have. I didn't even know
$13 whole dollars.
Yeah,
Unlucky
well, actually,
13.
it was $13 to Gary and him, but and Gary's was the expensive one. But if I'd have realized it, and I didn't know anything about it till I got pretty much home or something.
You practically drive right past Gary's on the way back to Oklahoma.
I do not.
If you just make that left turn, you do.
It's just a couple 100 miles out of the way.
Gary's trying not to make me
They
feel
would have had
bad.
Wiener Schnitzel there.
Yeah, if they'd had a Wiener Schnitzel there, we'd have been there because we had to go all the way through Champaign, Illinois to get a dang Wiener Schnitzel.
What was that fudge place that you went past?
Uranus.
Uranus
fudge.
Everyone out there in the chat, go look up Uranus fudge.
All right, so Snob, you want to talk about NRAAM a little bit, or or should we wrap it up?
What do you want to know about it? I'll talk quickly and then we'll wrap it up. I'll talk and I'll give my plug and then we'll wrap it up. How's that?
Yeah, Clover comes on tonight, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So we got to get out of here.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. Like I said, I went last year as just, everyday Joe, which was great. I had a lot of fun that way, but I had tons more fun this way. And I think a lot of it was because I actually knew people there and was able to talk to people, and it was nice, all that. The food in Indianapolis was terrible. The roads were terrible. The house was good.
Horrible.
Yeah, the pizza was good too. But
Are you sure?
Well, if they get the order right the first time, it'd be great.
You sure that large pizza is going to feed 4 of us?
yeah, it didn't. Oh wait, yeah, it did like 3 times.
Yeah, large Chicago deep dish. Yeah.
And don't ever get the roast beef at the show because Sunday the media room was closed and they had no snacks, so I was starving. So I went and got a big old roast beef dinner. It cost me $15. School cafeteria lunch was better than that. I literally only ate half of it. So yeah, it was a great show. Tons of content coming out on my channel. Tons of content on Instagram, and I get the privilege to. I was watching a G-Webs chat yesterday with Kevin Dixie, and they were talking about this training thing. So I decided to sound like a bargain, so I bought that, and there's only like 8 spots left. So go check that out. I think there's a link on my Instagram, or a post on my Instagram about it that tells you where you can find the link and stuff. But if you're at all interested in any form of content creator, it's $150 for a 3-day class with Kevin Dixie and a bunch of other content creators going to basically teach you how to grow your social media platform or whatever you're on to a platform. And all you have to be, there's no like restrictions on subs or anything like that. You just have to be in the 2A community putting out content. And it's Memorial Day weekend. So.
All right, let's run it through the room quick and get the hell out of here so Clover can start up. Squib, you got anything coming up? You got some more videos coming out?
Yeah.
Squibby?
Yeah. Speaking of Squibbish, maybe I'll get one out next week, but I got to finish up all this NRA stuff. Thanks for the invite. Later.
You're welcome. Yes, sir.
Well, let's see. I got a show tomorrow night, Foul Territory, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. And Sunday morning, early bird jets, around 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Anyway, thanks for the invite. Good show.
You're welcome. Kingpin.
I ain't got no plugs now. Thanks for having me, man.
Can you hear your new voices anywhere? Or?
That's not my thing. That's really anybody who wants to do its thing. So I mean, if somebody else wants to do it, that's great. I just do it, every once in a while. So hopefully the other guys will pick it up. Pete and Seven and all those guys will pick it up and start doing a show.
All right, cool. Rich, you got This Week Unloaded coming up Sunday nights at 8.
8 Eastern, yes, sir. And we are still not promoting the Harrisburg Rally May 6th at 10 a.m. in the morning.
No, we're still not promoting the Harrisburg Rally on May 6th at 10 a.m. at the Capitol. We're not promoting
Yes, the State House.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Roll call. What do you got?
Well, thanks for having me. The show sucks. Go check out my show on Wednesday nights, 9:30, 10ish.
He'll show you the door.
And I'll show you the door in that show. It's 9:30, 10ish, and Rants and Raves with Roll Call and Knife Strike, where we complain and bitch about what's going around in the world. Go check out my channel on YouTube. Go check out my channel on gunstreamer.com. I've got a little bit of stuff on guntube.org. And go check out my Instagram for sure, and go check out all the stuff that I saw during the NRAAM show. And thanks for having me, you orange creep.
Hey, buddy. Guess what I'm doing? All right, Tardot. What do you guys got coming up? You and Gunpowder.
Go check out my channel at Tardot357. Go check out Gunpowder Beauty's channel at Gunpowder Beauty. I've actually managed to upload 2 videos this week, which I think is a feat over the past couple months. I've been like 1 a week if I'm lucky. So I'm starting to make progress to get back in line with what I used to do. Other than that, I hope next year we actually see a lot more people, more like 30 creators out there from gun channels at NRAAM. It'd be a lot nicer.
It's in Nashville next year, everybody. So if you can make Nashville, do it. I highly recommend getting out there and not only getting out there and seeing the whole industry event, but just meeting everybody from gun channels. It's basically an extended family. It's awesome to hang out with these guys
and think about it, Nashville, for all of us that went this year, Nashville is kind of right there in the middle of all of us.
Yeah, Nashville is 8 hours from me, just like Indy was. So it'll be another 8-hour drive for me. It's going to be that for Snob because he's coming from. It took me 16 hours to get to Tulsa, so it'll take him 8 hours to get to Nashville.
With it being in Nashville after the show, we can all go over to Hickox and shoot the gong.
You go smoke some pot.
Yeah, smoke some pot. Yeah.
Nashville madhouse for NRA next year because you're going to have the NHL playoffs too.
Same time.
Well, there goes your cheap hotel rates, huh?
Yeah.
Get that house reserved now. All right, Travis, what do you got coming up?
Man, I've been out. I had a phone call for a little bit here. Are we closing out right now?
Yeah, we're closing out because Clover's starting up with his.
Oh, no problem, man. Yeah. Make sure you guys check out my episode of Caliber Corner this evening over on gunchannels.com. We had a really good episode. I had Mike Taylor on the show from Florida Carry. And let's see, next week I won't have an episode, or if I do, it's going to be later. I've got a job obligation that I'll be at. But otherwise, we should be on Thursday nights, 5 to 7 Central Time, 6 to 8 East Coast Time. And thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Thanks for coming in.
Yep.
And I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to say good night, everybody. NRAAM was awesome. Keep looking for a bunch of videos coming out of there. I got, I think, about 6 or 7 interview videos that I did. So you'll get those coming out. Plus, I got a ton of B-roll, which you'll just probably get, in drips and drabs here, just looking at it. You can go over and check me out on Patreon to support my fight against e-bagging. Or if you want me to show for you, you can go over there. And that's it. This is Orange You Glad It's Not the Closer number 12. This was. So we've done 12 live shows, plus a little here and there. But thank you to everybody for coming in. Thank you to everybody that watched this flaming NRA dumpster fire and that was out there in the chat. I'm not going to run through it because we're already over, and I know Clover is going to be starting. So we're out, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.